What is happening, responsible day traders? Today is Monday, December 18th, 2023. I am Lindsay Duff, and this is Responsible Day Trading. This is probably going to be my last video for the year, since we have Christmas coming up very soon and we have New Year's right after that. It has really slowed down. So one of the things that we're going to talk about today is some ways that if you feel like you must trade during this time, some things for you to pay attention to, and to maybe even a way to switch up your trading a little bit so that you can take advantage more of the smaller charts. But we're going to talk about that in just a minute. So guys, here at Responsible Day Trading, we do have 30% off until the end of the year. So if you're interested in becoming a student, please hit us up, let us know, and take advantage of that discount. And you can always go to info@responsibledaytrading.com in order to reach out to someone and get some information. Ugh, guys, by the way, I am so over this cold nose runny thing. I can't wait for summer to come back. I miss you, summer. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead, check out the news, and then we're gonna go check out the market, and we're gonna talk a little bit about some things that we can do to just kind of keep our minds in the right space. So we're gonna talk a little bit about things that can keep your mind in the right space. I mean, some of it may just be, hey, go spend time with your family and, eat cookies. To each their own. All right, so let's go ahead and check out the market. All right, so we're gonna head over to responsibledaytrading.com, and then we're gonna head to news, and we're going to go to market news. All right, we got some stuff going on here today, this week. Nothing today. Tomorrow is pre-market, so an hour before the market opens. Wednesday is half an hour and an hour after market opens, so maybe we'll see a little bit of movement on Wednesday. Thursday, all an hour before the market opens. Friday, mostly an hour before the market opens, and then a half hour after. So maybe Wednesday we'll see some fun stuff going on. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. All right, so let's go ahead and start off just talking about the daily chart and what's going on here. Believe me, it's not what I thought it was going to be, honestly. I saw this, what was looking like it was trying to create a reversal bar here. And now that I look at it, we never even closed below this previous close. So that bar is not a reversal bar. It looks like it's going to try and keep moving to the upside. You know, I'm just looking at this going, it doesn't have too far to go before it reaches this all-time high in the MACDs. Doesn't mean that it can't keep going. Now, initially what I really anticipated seeing in this area was something more like this. So we may see that happen right in here. We may see something kind of like this before it pushes down, but it does look like it's trying to push up. Now our all-time high in price is a little bit further up. We're at 47.93. The all-time high is at 5,000. So by all means, we're only about 200 away. 207, that is nothing. We can find ourselves making that move in one day sometimes. So do I think that's going to happen right now? Probably not. And I will need to go through here, and I'm not going to do it right now. I'm just going to do a couple of them right now, but create some new support and resistance areas, because we did have a lot of them disappear after we moved over to the new contract. That is the daily chart. Let's go ahead and look at the 28,657. 28,657 is a go for more up. I see more up. It's not a strong move up, and I mean that for both the daily chart and the 28,657. When I say that is we've got double white pivots, although we are outside of the Bollinger Bands, and it does look like we have strength up. So it does look like it's trying to move up a little bit further. We've made a higher pivot in the MACDs. We have white pivots, but these are outside with strength. Sorry, we have white BBs, but those are outside with strength. And just looking at this right here, I mean, we've pulled up and equaled that previous pivot area. MACDs are outside of the Bollinger Bands, which is an indication of more up. Pull back with this tiny little bar. It pushed up, and it looks like it's going to try and keep going up for a bit. I would be just anticipating a pullback, a deeper pullback, but it doesn't have to. And the reason I'm anticipating a deeper pullback is just the way that it has slowed down here, the way that we were talking about the white BBs being here, the way that we're talking about how we're reaching extreme pivots on the daily chart and the MACDs. So just a couple of things that say, it may go up more, but we just need to keep an eye on it. If it starts showing strong signs of pullbacks, really, really paying attention to that. Let's move on to our trading charts. So typically, these are our trading charts, the 10946, the 1597, the 233. It did give a great little pullback here and pushed up to the upside. But we can even see, market's been open for 2 hours and we don't have a lot of movement going on since 8:30 even on the 1597, it's right here. So you have a couple of options of what you can do. And we've talked about this before. I do use all Fibonacci numbers. So there is a special kind of separation between these numbers to use them in a proper way. So the 10946 is really my highest on my trading chart. But if I wanted to take it down a notch, I would move the 4181 up into the 10946 position. And as you can see, and let's just look at this on the 10946 and the 4181, we can see it didn't really give us an opportunity to take that trade to the upside in any of these areas really. But when it pulls back on the 4181, we might be able to find ourselves having a little bit easier opportunity actually taking the trades from here. Because this one looks like it just took off one big bar. This one gives you a little bit more of a slowdown. Well, we also have the 233 here, which by all means, if you wanted to leave the 233 there to use that, you could, but you could also pull in the 610 into that space. This is our first option. And we can see as it pulls back into these areas, it does give us opportunities. The way the MACDs are leading higher here as the price is pivoting to the upside. And that is the same as what we're seeing right in here. It just gives us a better opportunity to be a part of the move whenever it pulls back into these areas. But we do have one more option that if you feel like you absolutely must trade as it's slowing down here, what we're going to do is we're going to take the biggest tick charts completely out of the picture. We're going to move the 1597 to where the big tick chart was. We're going to move the 610 or the medium tick chart was, and then we're going to pull the 233 over and use this one again. So what this does is this takes it down a notch, okay? And we can still have things like our 10946 or our 4181 sitting on another screen so we can still pay attention to what the MACDs and things are saying on there. But if you are looking at this, this takes it down a level to where it makes it much easier to make a decision. Now, we're probably going to have quicker exits, quicker entries. We may want to minimize our risk a little bit more, or at least our target a little bit more, not expect it to really just fly in a direction and take off forever. So these will help us to just take it down a bit as we are seeing much slower volume. So you can see as we reached up here into this area, these MACDs were leading lower. They're pushing down here. They were leading lower and pushing down here. We had a snapback opportunity to come back into the area. So it does have very viable options that you can make when you're paying attention to the smaller tick chart. And it does, I want to say, smooth things out a little bit more. I mean, if we're looking at the 10946, this whole movement to the upside is this one big bar. So by all means, in the technical standard, the 10946 smooths it out a little bit more, but it also doesn't give you the opportunity to really participate in this because it takes off so fast. So if you eliminate that bigger chart and you come down to something a little bit smaller, it gives you more of an opportunity as it's pulling up here, not pulling back in there. And it's like, okay, I see it going, I see it going. Let me participate in this and not feel like your risk is way in the wrong place. You can see it happening here as it's pulling down. MACD's leading higher, pushes to the upside. And even right in here as it's pulling down, making these lows, and the MACDs cannot keep up. this would probably be where I would be looking at my opportunity right in here as it pulls back in to bounce up. We can see that happening right in here. So eliminating those bigger charts whenever it's really, really slow can really help you out, because these bigger charts can make you, what's the word I want to use? Can make you jump the gun, especially in something like an exit, or can make you miss trades because the bars look so big and scary and it looks like they turn around so quick. But if we just take it down a level, we can actually hear what's happening and see what's happening a little bit more to say, okay, well, we have opportunity in here. How can we take care of it and just eliminate those bigger charts from scaring you in or out of entries and exits? Okay, so for the long run, before we go for the day, we are looking for this market currently, just in what it's saying, that it is trying to move more up. Now, we may see by the end of the day, this turn into a reversal bar, this start to pull in, but it does look like it's still trying to have a little bit more upward momentum at least. So paying attention to that. If the slow movement is really just driving you crazy, we'll move it down to some smaller charts. They're going to make it a little bit easier for you to pay attention, for you to participate. And then also make sure, if you haven't, that you've put on some of your support and resistance lines, as we have seen this market take off a little bit more to the upside and grow as we switched over into a new. All right, my friends, so that is going to wrap it up. We're going to be taking the next couple of weeks off here at Responsible Day Trading. We will be still doing homework for students up until the next Monday. So we'll go through Monday, this coming up Monday, and you can submit your homework. And then we're going to be taking the next couple of weeks off, at least the next week off. I am going to be out of the country until the 3rd. I'm leaving on the 28th, going to be out until the 3rd. But I will have my computer and stuff with me. So if there is a need or a question that you need answered, I'll be able to take care of that. Okay, guys, I just finished my Monday morning rundown. And I saw this and I really wanted to participate in it. May not be the best move. We are leading lower here and we did roll inside, but I've got EMAs opened up to the upside here. Opened up to the upside here. I'm opened up to the upside here. So there's a really good chance it's going to continue up. I got in right as this one popped up here. So I may have jumped the gun just a little bit, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. I was thinking about moving my stop down 2 more ticks, but it would still have me right above here. So if it's going to pull back to a tick above this, it's going to get me anyways. So I did take it down to 3 contracts just because this slow movement does not make me super comfortable. But just in case, pull that one off a little bit. See if this is going to roll up or if it's going to snap down here. It is a lot easier for me to watch this with the smaller tick charts. Honestly, it's so much more comfortable than having the 10,946, 1597, 233 combo. Well, it might. Huh. So if it goes around 61%, it'll go up to my second target. If it goes 100%, my 2 contract target. If it goes 100%, it'll go to my 1 contract target. It looks scary, right? With that big move down there. This is all we see right here. We're still in the same spot. Still back to the 0 line. Now we're equaling this previous high. MACDs are still leading lower than all this, but it's pulled back to the 0 line and basically reset at this point. Now the MACDs here are not just flying through that top Bollinger Band. That's okay. They don't have to continue up. I want to see it exceed this spot, close above it, and then pull my risk up here. Although I may, I'm like, it's this anxiety of it moving so slow. I'm like, I may need to go ahead and move it up. But if I put it right above here, guess where it puts me? Right above the EMAs, which it can very easily pull back to. Got a lot of strength pushing up in the MACDs as they're breaking apart. A lot of strength pushing up here. So, one of the things about what we do here, guys, is we've really got to pay attention. We got to trust ourselves to do the right thing. Be one and done today because this is not my idea of a good time trading. Slow stuff like this just makes me second guess myself, and I don't love it. So exactly where I got in, just so everybody can see. Right there. We are up 2 points in a very slow market. There is no reason that you should have any risk left on this, but you're gonna just patient. I'm like actually really glad I stayed at 3 contracts instead of 4 because I'm just something that I tell other people to do, and sometimes I don't listen to my own advice. And when it's moving slow and you're uncomfortable with how it's moving, take it down a notch. And when this trade is over, I'm done. First off, I've got to edit my video, so I may walk away from here with like $50. Who knows? Okay, we're moving up. I'm actually considering an exit if this is a reversal bar. We're still strong up here, so don't get scared, Lindsay. Don't scare yourself out. But if you feel like it has the opportunity to pull back very, very deeply, get out. Don't have a problem with it. It's okay. You're still up. There's still profits moving through. These are the things that I have to tell myself, folks, whenever this is happening. We are leading lower here significantly while we're moving higher. We have what looks like a double bar potential. Don't think that it has to hit your target, Lindsay. Hit that close if you need it. And you can see I'm like doing some negotiating in my brain. Like, oh, well, if it just pulls down a little bit more, then I'm going to go ahead and get out, which I'm going to go ahead and move up behind here. Ugh, look at it touching that top Bollinger Band and not quite going through there. This becomes a problem. I will move that target down, or I'm just going to hit close, but I think we are okay. It's really trying to break through there. See the strength going up here. Oh, that's my chat. Okay, so we're gonna let this run here for a moment. We can see it's starting to run out of the steam on the 610 just a little bit. We still have pretty strong, I'm starting to see what looks like a reversal bar here. Pull all the way back here, but I feel like if I move it up here it's going to be a little too quick, so we're going to give it just a minute. We're either just going to cover the close button, and you remember we looked at where it could possibly go to. This was our first spot that was at 62%. The next place up here was pretty much at 100% of that previous move that we saw from back here, right? So how far can we go? There was 100%, so is it right over 50%? Right now we're at the 61.8. Maybe taking it out very soon. I feel like I should be out of this, but what I feel and what I see are not the same thing. Just gonna get ready to hit close. If this gives me a reversal bar down or gives me the rest of the pattern of the reversal bar down. Whew. Okay, it closed now. Saw that pop up and come down and I'm like, should be out. But this is the only trade I'm gonna take today. There's no reason for me to put myself through anxiety for an hour or anything else, but let's go ahead and just go back and let's look at what it brought me. And like I said, I only did 3 contracts, so trade performance, it's probably gonna keep going up, and I probably just scared myself out. 14.75 for one trade. First was 10, next was 4.75. What looked like something big on the 233, but was it anything big anywhere else? No. I didn't let it bother me back in here whenever I saw it happen, but for some reason here, I think it's just distraction, and that's okay. So you always have to pay attention to those kind of things. I mean, I did see reasons to start to exit what had looked like a reversal bar here, reversal bar here. This had a little bit of a push down. It looked like strength down. We are at the bottom Bollinger Band, so it really could pick up more to the upside. Now, let's just kind of look at this as if I'd had my 10,946 out there, would I have been able to feel as comfortable and remain in that trade or even take that trade? I probably wouldn't have even taken that trade, honestly. Just looking at this is where I got in, right? Yeah, right in here. I wouldn't even felt comfortable taking that trade on the 10,946 being at the top of the Bollinger Bands. So I'm glad I moved down to the smaller tick charts because it gave me a different perspective and I was able to make better decisions using it. Okay, guys. So that is going to wrap that up. We had closed the Monday morning rundown and I opened this up. I took the trade almost immediately after. So that's going to wrap it up. I hope that everybody has a wonderful week. You saw how hard that was for me to stay in the trade. It's actually starting to pull back a little bit. So I'm glad I exited, but at the same time, I don't feel comfortable when the market moves this slow. It's really, really hard to stay focused and aware, to not pay attention to what looks like big moves on the smaller charts, and to just make good decisions. And you can see how pulling it down a notch on those trades helped me to actually get into them. If I had stayed at my regular tick chart size, I would have never taken those trades. So, all right, my friends, that is going to be it. I hope that everybody has an amazing week. And as always, you know that I look forward to catching you on the profitable side. If not at the end of this year, let's make it next year. All right, guys. Bye.